Larry, help us understand 20,000. How did this happen?
I think it's a very fluky number. It's interesting that 20,000 there, the household employment number from which unemployment comes was up 255, which is a great number. The unemployment rate fell right 0.2 from 4 to 3.8. Wages were up. Actually, it's a big wage number year on year, 3.4%. Look, I think you have timing issues with respect to the government shutdown, winter seasonal issues. Very fluky. I wouldn't pay any attention to it, to be honest with you.
Well, Larry, it's Jim. I totally share your view. I want to be able to defend the number as a way to be able to say there was weather, and this time you really got to take weather seriously. But I wonder, Larry, at what point are some of these woes from overseas? Are we importing? I know that we're going to importing a lot from that deficit number, but are we importing Brexit? Are we importing worries in Germany? Are we importing the issues that are hurting China? Because I don't want those to impact us, because they don't necessarily reflect anything other than the United States being a little more ascendant than they are.
Well, look, that last point's an important point. We're the fastest growing economy in the world, from the major economies. And it's, you mentioned Europe. The United States is buying goods. We are really the only source of stimulus. I mean, let's take Europe. It's a big trading partner. So we're importing their consumer goods. We're importing their capital goods. We're importing their manufacturing goods. And that's, they need that demand. If it weren't for us, they'd be in worse shape, probably negative across the board. They can keep throwing money at it, as Mr. Draghi is now, more easy money lending to the banks. That's not going to do it. They've been doing this for years. They need changes in their labor regulations. They need lower marginal tax rates, et cetera, et cetera. We are the source of stimulus. We are the hottest economy in the world. And we are experiencing, despite this silly, fluky number, we are on a roll. And I'm going to say that the outlook for the American economy is still 3% growth plus.
You really, that was my question, Larry. I mean, you call it a silly, fluky number. So you don't believe it's reflective at all of a slowdown in growth?
No, I don't think it's reflective of anything, except you have timing issues and scoring issues and eligibility issues and lousy winter seasonal issues. Again, this is all going to be revised up. You can use a 3-month moving average. I think jobs are about 190,000 plus. Look at the household survey. That's where the unemployment rates come from. That thing was up, if I have it right, 255,000. So your unemployment rate comes down from 4 to 3.8, and your wage numbers are up, I believe, 0.4%. 3.4% year on year. Those are really, really big numbers. And again, you may not see it in this month. Monthly data is monthly data. There's a lot of noise. But the trend lines are so important. The biggest factor in the growth of jobs in the past year is, guess what? Women. Women have come back into the labor force. I don't know what the number is, 50-something percent. 58% of the new entrants into the labor force from women. That's a big turnaround from the last 15, 16 years. And then, of course, as we've discussed in this show, blue collar. Blue collar employment, manufacturing, autos, and so forth. Fastest gains since the 80s. And the blue collar wages are rising faster than the white collar wages. I'm not saying higher, I'm just saying faster. These are great things. And by the way, one last number, I just want to put this in. The best number I've seen all week, productivity, output per hour. That is the ultimate growth driver in our economy, at least. Productivity is up 1.8% for the last 4 quarters in 2018. That's a big number because that thing had been flat, zero, or near zero for many years. That tells you a number of things, okay? I think the lower tax rates and deregulation is working, but it shows you that money is being invested. Businesses are investing, new equipment, new campuses, new everything, new robots. You were talking about AI before. That's a big number. 1.8% productivity growth changes the whole potential of the economy to grow. It's a terrific number.